Well, good afternoon, That Oregon Life. Welcome to ExplOregon. We are
at Moss Creek.
Mosby Creek.
Oh, Mosby.
That's a covered bridge, and we're at the Mosby Creek covered bridge. And this is part of the Rails to Trails program. And so what happened was years ago they put in a rail line. It goes all the way from Cottage Grove up to Culp Creek, a little place up the river. And there's Bohemia Mountain up there. The miners built the railroad to get their gold down. But before the railroad was finished, the mine shut down. So then the timber industry, Bohemia Lumber, used that rail line to get the timber from Culp Creek, their mill that they used to have up there, all the way down into Cottage Grove. So it's like, what, 15 and a half miles?
Yeah.
All the way from Cottage Grove. It starts in Cottage Grove and goes all the way up to Culp Creek.
There's some, as you can see, there is a covered bridge right behind us, and that
there's 3 of them on this trail. So you'll see the Curran covered bridge, this is the Mosby Creek one, and also there's a Dorena covered bridge. Another thing, you go along the edge of the banks of Dorena Lake, which is super cool. So it's a beautiful lake, and nobody's in it because they don't use it very much for recreation or anything, so you can go in there. Back in the day, the 1994s, when they shut down the railroad, it went to the BLM, and the BLM then people ripped out all of the rail lines and the gravel, and they paved it and made it into this super nice bike trail. And there's these little places, and you don't have to do the whole 15 and a half miles. There's little stations like that up and down the trail where you can just park your car. It's perfect for kids because here, I'll show you. Look at that. So there's a couple of these bridges, and this goes, like I said, not from here, it's not 15 and a half miles, but from town, it's 15 and a half miles up to Culp Creek.
Now, aren't there some closures coming up?
Yeah, there's going to be some closures. They're going to do some work on it starting, I think it's July 9th, going through November. There'll be some closures in spots, so you need to check and find out. I missed the Blue Goose. Yeah, there used to be the Blue Goose up here, and then it changed to this. If you do have a family, like I said, a rail line has to be gentle in its slope because a train doesn't have enough power to get, up a steep hill. So what they did was this, so it makes a perfect trail because even small kids can ride their bikes up here and make it without any big problems. So Kathy and I have come up here and done it a lot of times. If you're a super serious biker, you can do this till you get to Culp Creek, and then you just keep going. And then you're on regular road. But when you get on the regular road, it's pretty dang awesome. And you can go all the way up Bohemia Mountain, come back a back road. You can do huge rides. Cottage Grove has some of the best bike trails in the state of Oregon. And we spend a lot of time down here. This is what's cool, though. You're on these bridges, and then you look back, and there's the covered bridge. Mosby Creek. So their bike trail system is amazing. And like I said, it starts in town.
Really, really nice, user-friendly. You can bring wheelchairs, strollers, inland skating. I mean, there's just so many different things you can do because it's so well paved.
And as you can see behind me, if you look back there, it just goes on and on forever. And the nice thing, too, is that everything's marked really well. It tells you when to slow down, when to speed up. When you come to a major road, it'll tell you and warn you about that. The other thing we love about recreation in Cottage Grove, it's not just cycling, and there's a lot of other places to cycle as well, but you can also, there's 2 lakes here. Dorena Lake, Dorena's a reservoir, actually, and then there's Cottage Grove Lake, and horseback riding, Theodore, yeah, it's true, you can horseback ride out there. And Cottage Grove Lake is a really warm lake, and in the summer it gets pretty busy, but we did a triathlon out there, 70 degrees.
And we've taken picnics out there on a Sunday and just sat by the lake.
And both of them are only minutes from town, from downtown Cottage Grove. So when you come here for a weekend or for a week, there's plenty to do. We were talking this morning about the wineries and places like that. You can ride your bikes out to those wineries, or you can also come out here, and this is just a nice thing for families and that kind of thing. But we've done it too. We just get off the road at the end and we keep going because for some reason 30 miles isn't enough because we're stupid. But it is, as I said, it's a good ride, and like we normally do, we start here at Mosby Creek, so it's not quite as far up on there, and you miss some of it, but you can do legs of it, and it works pretty well. So Cottage Grove is a fun place to be.
It's a wonderful town.
So our next stop is going to be at the brew station. We're going to go down there and check out. It's a feed store, a brewery, has a tap house, and then they also have food. So we're going to go talk to Emily and find out what they're doing. And then we end our exploring Cottage Grove at the Axe and Fiddle around 5:30. So if you guys are around and about, we'd love to meet you and see you. And we want to thank everybody in Cottage Grove for doing this with us.
Wonderful, really nice, friendly people, and they've really welcomed us, so we thank you.
And yeah, we like the fact that everybody seems to be really supportive of their town, and the fact that there's so many things to do down here. So again, there's going to be a closure on the trail, the Rails to Trails trail here out here at Mosby Creek, from the 9th of July to sometime in November. So you need to check your websites, and the city will have that on there because they have all that kind of information available. So we should head in?
Yep.
All right. So we will see you in a little bit, coming to you from the brew station back in town. Stand By Me was filmed there. I know it was. So was the Buster Keaton movie. What was that? I can't remember. We talked about that early this morning. And also Animal House. So you guys have a lot of stuff going on in this town. All right. We'll check in with you in a few minutes from downtown at the brew station. All right. Share the page.
See you soon.
See you guys later.